Hey guys, so I saw this tweet this morning, and if there's something that I know is consistent with successful professionals, it's this thing: reverse engineering. How do I know this? I taught myself how to write software. I've been writing software for the past 7 to 8 years now. And the most interesting thing about this is, I was not in software engineering school. I did not learn software engineering. I did not learn computer science. I studied project management, and I thought everything I needed to teach myself, right? YouTube videos, texts, books, everything, you name it. I remember there was a time when I was going back to finish my final year paper in school, final year level, because in my school, it's 5 years courses and those kind of things, compared to the typical 3-4 years. In the final year of my school, while going to finish my final year level, I was studying cracking the coding interview. Big ass book. I was not a computer science student. I sort of knew how to get to learn things that nobody taught. And it was good. I'll recommend the book. There's a book about learning how to learn. And that was one of the best books I ever read in my entire life. So the reason why I'm a big advocate for this book is because it taught me how to learn things, break things down, no matter how complex, and take them bit by bit. And I think that was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I was probably 14, but that was awesome because I could go on to use that technique in many other things. I'll drop the link on the description of this video, and you can go download the books or you could go buy the books, but it was amazing. So he talked about a lot of things, learning, mind mapping, creating associations with different things in your memory, right? And of course, I don't use all these things every day. But what I learned from that was, even though there was a chapter that described how to learn how to draw. And so the idea was that to learn how to draw, it was complicated. And I took the exercises, I did the exercises. And what happened was, we reversed engineer how to actually draw things from like simple elements, creating grids, and then get into like complex of adding detail to the drawing. And that was interesting because then it gave me an idea that no matter how complex something is, there is a way to break it down and use systems or be systematic about how you want to actually figure this thing out. And so that took me to a lot of places in terms of applying it because it felt like I could learn everything. So one of the things I did when I started very early in my career, and everybody had learned actual software development, except of course me, coming from project management, was I took code that was already written on GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, all those kind of places. And I took all those code and I started to tear them down, no matter how complex they were. I was reading other people's code. It's the same thing. And it was mind-blowing to me because I'm like, people are putting their code on the internet for free. And this is why I'm always going to be a champion of open source. Anything open source, be it in tech, in finance, in medicals, whatever. It's an opportunity for people that don't have the resources or the connections to actually learn things if they have enough motivation to. And that's why I'm going to finish this video on. It's all about your motivation. It's all about how you can gather up your energy, your strength, and like really focus on, say, learning the most fundamental things, right? Finding the most quality materials, right? Open source materials out there that you can actually break into pieces and learn bit by bit. I'm telling you, the sky's the limit. You just have to like learn this thing. So I'm going to put the resources that I can find that I think will take you through the process of saying, how can you take complex ideas and break them down and learn those things, right? So you can see 2 tweets here. So he basically talks about how you go through the process of thinking, what is the means and what is the end? What am I trying to really achieve here? And what is the means to achieve that? So a lot of people have it backwards. They go from the means to the end. And that's only going to make it more complicated because you want to start backward. What do I want to achieve? And then you go backward from there. You start with the actual goal in mind and you walk backwards from there. What are the little things I have to do? Let me give you an example. You're trying to get into software, but you're trying to get into backhand. The best way to go about it is to go to LinkedIn. Straight up. I know you don't like LinkedIn. I know you hate it. I know there's a lot of people that are lying. A lot of people are posturing. That's fine. Go to LinkedIn. Type in the name of the field you want to get into. It's going to give you a list of every single person on that page. It's going to give you a list. It's going to give you a list, usually to default to jobs. But click on people. So this list is going to be software engineers, just software engineers. You can filter it down to say maybe people in your location, people that are probably doing particular technologies that you're interested in. A lot of profiles are on LinkedIn, so you can never really exhaust it, you know. And so what you want to do is from there, Look at these people, look at what they push online, look at the most impressive profiles, really. Look at what they push online, look at the places they've worked, go to those places they've worked, look at their technical blogs, look at the code they've pushed online, try to read their code. Try to read everything about them, about these companies and their engineering blogs. Try to extract insights from their backgrounds and how they've navigated it, for example, right? How are they able to find it, get into FANG? Or how are they able to get into this particular company? You can extract those insights from how they've worked and interned in certain places and they ended up somewhere. That's other things you want to know. So here's the gist. The secret to many things that we're doing after school, even during school, in the workplace, is not just about your work. It's about knowing how the world actually works. There are many fields that you can't get into except you're coming from certain Ivy League schools, right? They won't look at your profile or your CV more than once. So you have to be prepared, you have to know those, you have to be in those schools, or you have to be able to show that you are able to do the things that these people from those schools are able to do, right? And that can't come from anything other than actually putting out projects for yourself, studying things, being extremely creative. So that's the way I'm going to put it. So I'm going to recap on everything I've said, right? The first things first is you need to reverse engineer between the means and the goal in mind, right? And what you think about first is your goal. And then you end up with your means. How do you get there? You look at how people have done that. You do your research on people in the industry. You speak to people in the industry. And you are able to extract insights from there, create your own plan. And say, look, 5-10 people have done this. I can do this. They are not smarter than me. And I've seen this consistent path. And this is my means to my goal. Okay, so that's everything I have to talk about now. But reverse engineering is the word for the day. Speak to you soon. Bye.